How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another FPL video, and today we're going to be looking at our Game Week 34 lineup as well as how we did in Game Week 33. So without further ado, let's check out the lineups. So in Game Week 33, we decided to use our free hit chip. We had our triple captaincy also available as well, but I felt that I wanted to basically shuffle the lineup a little bit, especially for this game week. And I thought it was kind of too important not to have City assets. Turns out they were actually quite weak this week as they did not score at all. Overall, we got 75 points, which saw us increase our rank by 10k places. We're now just outside the top 32k. Hopefully we can get inside the top 10k by the time the season is out. Pretty much the main thing for our team this season was that basically everybody scored except for, a couple people that didn't start or I didn't really expect to kind of score, and they were kind of punts. We had Ederson, who got us 3 points, which is above the 2 that Pope scored and tied for what Foster got, so not too bad there. And also it was kind of not even his mistake, so at the end of the day, it's not, it's not the end of the world. Our defense obviously was quite good. We had a 6, 7, and 8 across Trent Alexander-Arnold, Van Dijk, and Dunk. Dunk we obviously brought in because he was playing Norwich. He got 2 bonus points, which is absolutely stellar. Salah obviously just getting the assist and a clean sheet point, not too good there, but 6 points, we'll definitely take it. The disappointing thing, however, was that Mahrez got hooked pre-60 minutes, and then Kevin De Bruyne didn't start the game and kind of played a more reserve role when he did come on. So they obviously only got us 1 point there, and City should have probably scored in that game. It doesn't necessarily have to have been those 2 players, but I think City overall should have looked back at that game and think, yeah, we probably should have scored at least 2 goals in this game. Then we also had Connolly, who was paired alongside Dunk. He did play quite well. He just was a bit unlucky in the 2 shots that he had. They obviously got blocked, and on another day he might score those, but it was a 1-week punt and it was worth the worth kind of the fun for it. And then we have obviously the Manchester United assets, which obviously in hindsight, we wish we had a captain Bruno, but we can't complain. Bruno with 15, Martial with 14, and Rashford with 6. Obviously we captained him, so he's got us 12. It was nice of Bruno to give him the penalty, just kind of get his mind off of I haven't scored since the restart, so I think it was quite good of him to do that. And overall that obviously gave us, like I said, 75 points. On the bench we had a non-playing goalkeeper, didn't come in. We did have Lamptey in the event that De Bruyne didn't play. I kind of prepared for that. He got 5 points, so he got a clean sheet, but he got a yellow as well. And then we just had Nketiah from Arsenal and then Taylor from Burnley just getting 2, but none of those players came in. So let's check out what we have going on for Game Week 34 plus. So as you can see from our Game Week 34 lineup, our team has obviously been reverted back to what it was previously before the free hit chip was activated. We currently sit at 104.1 million in squad value, and we have 0.6 in the bank, and that is also due to a transfer that we have made, which you'll see in the midfield. But now looking at the defense, we obviously still have Patricio in goal, him and Doherty obviously having our double Wolves defense there. They have Sheffield United away, who obviously, they're struggling to score goals. They do keep it tight at the back, so I kind of expect them to be pretty good, pretty confident going into this game, getting me another clean sheet. Obviously conceding 2 to Arsenal, that was a bit unexpected, but I think they'll get back on track as Wolves typically prioritizes defense over offense. And then moving on to Trent Alexander-Arnold, he's not going anywhere. He did get hooked a little bit earlier, or can potentially get hooked a little bit earlier, much like how Robertson did in the last game and him in the game before. Versus Man City for Nico Williams. And I think it's just one of those things where there might be a game where he doesn't start, but if you don't have him and he scores a free kick, gets a clean sheet, or like gets a double assist or something like that and a clean sheet, then you're kind of up a creek. We like to call those players shields, basically players that are like kind of Mr. Consistent and have really high ownership, so that if you don't have them, you get punished for them. And then lastly, we have Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's one of our 3 United players. I don't see any reason to get rid of him to get another United attacker in, especially for a hit. And that's mainly because he could have had 3 assists in 3. Rashford was just barely offside, but he's obviously showing that his final ball is quite good. And as long as Maguire and Lindelof and De Gea stop letting in very easy goals, then we should see clean sheets from United as well. And I expect nothing less versus Aston Villa, who currently sit 19th in the Premier League. Moving on to the midfield, and this is where we start to things get a little bit interesting. So we've activated our triple captaincy chip. We put it right on Bruno Fernandes, and we put the vice captaincy on our newly acquired Anthony Martial. who is in replace of Pogba, mainly because I thought that one, with Pogba was kind of playing more of a deep line role, and two, like that being a facilitator doesn't really work for FPL. Yeah, he might get a long range shot and score a goal or get an assist in a game to come before the end of the season, but I think overall Martial will score, and as long as he doesn't get injured, he will definitely just stay in my team for the rest of the season. Now, getting back to the triple captaincy chip, like I said, we put it on Bruno. Of the remaining fixtures, Aston Villa away is Manchester United's best fixture. They are the team in form, so I think that it only fits that I should put the triple captaincy on a United asset. I currently don't have any City assets, so it was a consideration for bringing in a City asset, but that would have been for a hit, and it would have been against Newcastle, or it would have been later on in Game Week 36 when Manchester City played Bournemouth, or it would have also been in Game Week 38 when Manchester City played Norwich. However, the worry there is that I'm thinking that maybe Pep's going to start to consider European competitions coming up. They need to win the Champions League to kind of kick things all over and kind of think it's a successful season. And I think he'll probably start to rest players, and just the risk of rotation can just be just too much. So I know that Bruno's going to play because Manchester United plays, and Bruno always plays. So, and he's just got so many avenues to points, so I expect nothing less than at least one return from him, which is good enough for me for the triple captaincy chip for this game week. And as for the rest of our midfielders, we have Richarlison. He's still in our team, although he did go down in price, but he does have a good fixture of Southampton at his home ground at Goodison Park. And I think that he showed some promise today versus Spurs. Spurs obviously played with basically 10 men behind the ball and looked to break. They got a very fortunate goal from Lo Celso, which actually ended up being an own goal. But I think Richarlison has good fixtures coming up, and I'm looking to keep him in the long term as long as he stays fit. Moving on to Spurs as well, we have Heung-min Son. He obviously is going up against Bournemouth, and basically anyone who plays Bournemouth, you probably want to have him. So I'm going to keep him in my team for at least the Bournemouth game. That was definitely my intention there. And then we have Mohamed Salah last. We want to kind of keep an eye on him. He may make way for Kevin De Bruyne for the remainder of the season, because after that they have Burnley at home, they then have Arsenal, they then have Chelsea, and then they have Newcastle. So it could be some tougher fixtures there for Mohamed Salah, and he's obviously at 12.6 million at the moment. Kind of expensive, so we may be kind of looking to ship him out for a much cheaper Kevin De Bruyne, and then we may look to move Son out if he doesn't do anything versus Bournemouth as well. And we can look for the likes of Riyad Mahrez or Phil Foden or someone of that nature. And if United continue to score a ridiculous amount of goals, maybe we even look to take out Wan-Bissaka and get on a third United attacker there as well. Moving on to the forward line, we still have Raul Jimenez in there. He's going up against Sheffield United away from home this week. I kind of don't expect him to score, and I'm potentially looking to, get rid of him. It's kind of weird. I think that Wolves are going to be good defensively going forward for the remainder of this season, but attacking wise, they just don't look kind of there. Obviously not being able to score against Arsenal, whose defense has obviously picked it up, but is still relatively weak. And I just feel that he's not going to be one to burn you game in, game out with a brace assist, a brace, a hat trick or something like that. He's typically just 1 goal, 3 bonus, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, could that be pretty bad if he does that multiple game weeks in a row? Yeah, maybe, but I could be looking to get the likes of Jamie Vardy, for the Bournemouth game, and then swap him out for Danny Ings after that when they play Bournemouth, and so on and so forth, and just kind of target Bournemouth just mainly because they concede so many goals. And then we also have Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He also looked quite promising. He had a pretty good shot attempt at goal that he could have potentially scored. And obviously he's still going to remain on the goals imminent table. And I think that they should be able to get a return versus Southampton in midweek. So I think I'm going to keep him as well, although he is up for consideration. I have mentioned in my videos to sell him. Unfortunately, I would have to sell him for a hit, and I cannot directly get a player that I would like, such as Mason Greenwood from Manchester United, without taking a -8, because I've already made my transfer this week, and I have Wan-Bissaka in defense. So I would need to basically get rid of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Wan-Bissaka, which costs -8 to do so. So I'm going to keep him in there and potentially keep him all the way up until the Bournemouth fixtures, because eventually he'll score, and whether it's against Bournemouth or not, I can still see 1 or 2 returns maybe before the end of the season, which is good enough for a 6 million or so forward. And then on the bench, we just have our standalone, 3.9 goalkeeper that's not going to play. We put in Ketia as our first sub here, mainly because he's an attacker, and he obviously has a slightly better fixture than Lascelles, who plays Man City away. And then Ngakia is last on our bench because his contract has run out, and he's just there as a placeholder. So that's my team news for my lineup going into game week 34 and how we did in game week 33 plus. As you can see, obviously, like I said in the other video that I did today, the background is obviously a little bit different. There's going to be a green screen behind me going into the next one, so I won't have a camera border. Hopefully, if I get everything all sorted, that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And yeah, we'll have some, fun different things. We'll also be using the green screen on the live streams as well. Make sure to give a like on the video if you enjoyed it as well. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Obviously, the channel is going to be evolving. We've had a lot of support over the past few weeks, and it's great to see. And hopefully FPL, continues to keep going how it's going. We're doing quite well, and we look to get into the top 10K before the season's out. Make sure to also turn those notification bells on so that you can get the videos as soon as they are readily available. And give us a follow over on Twitter and Twitch. It's PilotFlame226 also on those platforms. That is where we post our videos, as well as let people know when our live streams are ready and up and going over on Twitch. We'll also be doing one of those for the Game Week 35 plus preview. That will be on Friday, the 10th of July, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. EST. This is mainly because it's better for me to do it in the middle of the day rather than in the evening, as I have something to do that evening, unfortunately. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe. Like I said, we're going to be adding more and more videos, and it's a very hectic time, so a lot of content to consume. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.